And so one of the things that I talk about a lot is that first you're setting the boundary, and then you have that's the easy part, actually, is to just say what you need or say what you will or won't do. The hard part then is to alleviate yourself of the guilt for setting it in the first place. And secondly,
That's a very good
not
point.
that, because especially when you haven't been setting boundaries, it's
Exactly.
because you're part of this dynamic of taking care of them instead of yourself.
Exactly.
So then now you're learning to set boundaries. Great. So you set it, but now you feel so guilty, like, oh, they're going to think I'm a meanie,
Right.
right. And then after, and so there's the guilt, but then also you're still caring about what they think of you and your boundary and what's in their head. And that might be okay when we're talking about
regular people,
a higher functioning relationship, a healthy relationship where there is an exchange, there is a back and forth, there is reciprocity. And, you're saying, oh, Jason, I didn't know you felt that way. And you're like, well, oh, Tina, but now I understand that you feel that. And that's happening. But when that's not happening with them, you set your boundary and then you have to detach from their process. You have to let go of whatever's going on in those 6 inches between their 2 ears. That is not your concern. If they think you're mean, you have to just sit, and then it's like, this is how I feel. And I see that you're having a hard time accepting it, but it is what it is. And let them call you whatever they're going to call you, or
go on that's coming,
media. Right? Narcissists love to go on Facebook and be like, and talk about how, you got to let them do all that stuff and know that if you set a boundary, it's because you've thought about it and you have conviction about, you've connected to your value. You've decided this is something that matters to me. These are my values, or these are my needs, or whatever. And you're saying it. And so it's okay because you've thought about it and then you've voiced it. And so if they don't like it, you don't need them to like it. And I think that's the hardest part for people, is letting go of how the other person takes it. And if you can get to that place of, I know I'm a good person, I'm not doing anything to hurt you or mess with you because I have this boundary, and let go of how they handle your boundary.
I think in relationships, I know in relationships, period, it's hard for people to set boundaries, right? Because usually we go into relationships and somewhere along the lines, there are no boundaries, right? We don't set them. And so I know Jason and I, we definitely make sure we tell couples to set boundaries. And it's so hard because, like you said, the first thing they think is that this person's going to think I'm mean and they're not going to understand me. And so, even with, as you said, you're trying to rationalize with someone who doesn't rationalize, right? They don't really consider your feelings, or you don't even know what they're thinking.
Yeah, boundaries are a great way to even find out, to test the potential of a relationship and find out what it's capable of. Because when you think about it, setting a boundary gives someone an opportunity to meet your needs and take care of you the way you want to be taken care of. You're letting them know. And so if you set a boundary and someone respects that and honors that, now you're closer. You understand each other better. You know how to take care of each other and coexist together. If you don't ever say your boundary, they don't know what you need and what you're asking for. And if you do say your boundary and they don't accept your boundary or respect your boundary or take care of you in that way, now you know that, well, this is a person that I have needs in front of and I make them known and they don't care. That's information about the dynamic that you should take in. It doesn't make you bad for setting your boundary. It means this is something I need and that person can't give it to me. So what does that mean? Then you need to make a decision about this connection. Even if you think that person's awesome, if they can't meet your needs, they can be an awesome person, but that's not the right connection for you.
Right. They're not awesome for you.
Right.
You have a question?
I was just going to say that shows up differently because, not differently. You set a boundary, and then they don't honor that boundary, but you let it slide.
Right.
And then you set another boundary, and then you let it slide. And after a while, the other person on the receiving end will be like, I don't have to respect any of this person's boundaries. They keep saying this, but they don't accept it when I don't honor it. So, hey, she going to get what I give her.
Well, that's right. As soon as when you set a boundary, it's important that you maintain it, because no one takes you seriously if you don't stick to what you say and stick to your boundary. So you can't you have to be prepared to follow through on what you say your boundary is.